But I grew up an Israelite.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So my family are Hebrew Israelites, and so I was able to somewhat learn from that growing up. And then it just gravitated me to go to Israel and see what I've been learning firsthand. But I went with a humble approach because I was only there to learn, right? But then I also played basketball. So it wasn't like I cared much about basketball. Like I wanted to be the best for sure. Like I got MVP, won a champion. I won 2 championships, All-Star MVP. I did all these things there, but I took a humble approach to everything. So therefore, it was like, all right, sat one of the guys. You feel me? I could have went over there on the ego trip, like, this is mine. I own the team. But I did own the team. I was the owner of Jerusalem.
Right. You owned the team you was on?
Oh,
yeah.
That's dope.
That should be the goal for everybody. I'm gonna go and own the team and the MVP.
That was the owner of the team and won the championship. And All-Star MVP.
But how do you get the mind frame to go own that team?
Well, a buddy of mine approached me about it. He's like, listen, there's a team for sale. Want to get involved? Opportunities here, just let me know. So I got involved.
And that's in Jerusalem?
In Jerusalem.
Wow.
I'm like, listen, this is a space where none of us is.
You still own the team to this day?
Yeah, I'm like, listen, and the African Americans that were brought here as slaves are Israelites. So let me go here now, plant a seed here, build this program here, so that way now that we're returning back to our land, so then now, I built that whole little infrastructure. So it's a whole different level of like learning, infiltrating, and also building in a space where we once were. And so I went through that whole process of like, we're back.
Yeah, I know these nations don't like me. Everything they do is out of spite, Cause they know that Bible talking about me. But we strong through the power of his might, Yeah, I know these nations don't like me. Everything they do is out of spite, Cause they know that Bible talking about me. But we strong through the power of his might, The Most High, I know he got me. Read the OT, you wanna know about me. They do, but don't doubt me. The good news, you can't stop it. Now that we waking up, studying the Bible, we cooking up. Everything looking up, 20 deep, we be pulling up. Teaching our people the truth. That's who we are. Showing scriptures for proof that what we do. They used to call us by every other name, but our God-given is
Shalom, everybody. Welcome to Amar'e Faith TV. All praises be to the Most High. We are live tonight. We got our very special guests tonight, some of our brothers, some of our ox from the God First Gang. Listen, we want y'all to tune in now. We need y'all to listen, tune in on Clubhouse to them. They like on all the time, spitting that knowledge. Listen, chopping up folks that don't know this word. But listen, all praises be to the Most High. We want y'all to tune in, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Share this with everybody. We're back talking about the Amar'e Stoudemire interview. We thank for everybody for your support. We thank you for all the people that are tuning in. All praise be to the Most High. We are just going to get started in this. We're going to bring our brothers up right now, and we're going to let them introduce themselves. You know what I'm saying? This is the God First Gang. Corey, Mahab, come on. Yawah, Shalom, Ak, how y'all doing?
Shalom.
Aki, how y'all doing? Man, come on, man. Don't waste no time, man. Where y'all from, Mike? Tell us about the God First Gang, man. Let me say this, y'all. My Moray and one of my elders, man, they hit me to y'all. They hit me to y'all, man. And I was like, dude, who they on there, man? And I love Corey, y'all. I love I be going strong. He be walking down real tough. All praise to the Most High, God. We got to find this for the brethren. And we just thank the Most High for y'all because y'all really shed some light with this Amar'e Stoudemire thing, man. And just breaking it down. The way y'all treated Doc, man, was so beautiful, man. Y'all didn't beat him. Y'all didn't abuse him. Y'all talk to him. Y'all talk to him, instead of what them other folks did. You know what I'm saying? But all praises. Come on, man. Introduce yourself, man. Tell us about the God First Gang, all right?
From Akron, Ohio, linking up with God First Gang almost from the inception. I met the brother Corey on, a couple of the platforms that the Israelites had, shout out Crown of Thorns. I think it was that platform. And, from thence we kind of grew a tight-knit friendship. So, I became a part of the God First Gang. And, I love what those brothers was doing. And, he kind of told me his vision for it and what he wanted it to do. And, I definitely was of the same mindset. And that's really to bring Israel together, from all, points of view, understandings, doctrines. We really try to push the narrative of all Israel coming together. So we wanted to create a platform where, it doesn't matter what sect you're from, no matter what community you come from or congregation or camp. We definitely wanted all Israel who knew that they were Israel and, wanted to keep the law, statutes, and commandments of God with faith in Christ to come together and, have our own platform. They got on the platform early and, Corey, he'll be in here in a few minutes to talk about it more, but they got on the platform and it was him. I think it was Hassad, maybe from Sakari, and it was Yawal, and they were just going in rooms and, these pastors' rooms and getting treated real bad, So then they came up, with an idea to have their own club. That was another club. I think it was called the 1/3 Club. And then out of that came God First Gang, which was more centered around, bringing all camps, all congregations, all Israelites of the same mind together and combating the other doctrines. So that's what it was really, built on, is us all coming together and combating other doctrines, Christians, Muslims, because that's what they had in mind or in common. They all will team up and let's go against the Israelites. That's what their mindset has always been. As long as I've been on the platform, I've always seen that Christians, Muslims, Nawabians, they will all team up to come at the Israelites. So, we created our own platform and had them all here. They all trying to, come and cut the doctrine and just falling left and right. So all praises to the Most High. It evolved from there into, other rooms we do as well. We do a character building class every Saturday and Sunday called The Moral of the Story. All right, those are at noon Eastern Standard Time on Saturday. I lead the moral of the story, and that's where we do a character building class. We've had Hebrew classes, we've had prophecy classes. We do a Wednesday night news at 9 prophecy class, and then throughout the week we just host rooms that we think are good topics, biblical topics, what we're seeing in in the world and on Clubhouse, and we take smoke. So we've become a real well-rounded platform, I would say, over the last year and a half, and then now with this this interview, this Amar'e Stoudemire interview, hopefully it now goes to the next level. We want to actually become more interviewers and have more great interviews coming here in the near future. So, I'm gonna go ahead and yield there.
Yeah, shalom to the platform. Can y'all hear me?
Khan, you good, Corey?
All right, con. Yeah, man, just to add on to let me back behind my brother Mahalab on that point. God First Gang originally started as a business, because I felt the need to fill a gap where in corporate America there wasn't anything that was righteous that was there, and it wasn't anything necessarily for people of our persuasion that was really prominent. Like you see these other businesses like a JC Penney's or Dick's Sporting Goods or a Victoria's Secret, Foot Locker, etc. I felt like we didn't have things that could a space that represented us to where you can go in and a shop for clean items, whether that was for consumption, whether that was for wardrobe, etc. So that was the initial movement, but it transitioned on the audio app Clubhouse, which, you know, most of us was either teachers or readers or brothers or sisters just trying to hold to the faith. So, you know, on the audio app, you had to communicate, you know, what you believed in. So when creating God First Gang, it's pretty much represents an online unity camp like the brother Mahalab was speaking of. And, you know, I think it's extremely important for the community, because even if you don't have Hebrews to where everyone sees eye to eye, as I believe Isaiah 52:8 speaks about, when Christ returned, he's going to make sure and we all see eye to eye. Even if that can't take place now, that doesn't mean that we can't have a communication system built between us to where we can talk things out, to where we can keep tension down, where we can solve problems quick, where we can network even quicker. So that's what I wanted to make sure that God First Gang represented for the community. And it's been growing since then. Another thing was, I feel like we was always misrepresented, not when it comes to teaching, but politics behind teaching. I feel like if we're renting out an arena, then we're renting it from other nations. If we are going into contract, we're going into contract with other nations. And if we're utilizing apps, we're utilizing apps that other nations, you know, own and control. So my whole position in my mind frame was to try to create avenues to where we can start trying to control the narrative from behind the scenes. And you know, even being interviewers, I think that's an important thing, to where you don't necessarily put your bias to the forefront in your questions, or you're not trying to attack the person, or you're not trying to cut the person, but you are trying to give a space for the person to speak, and then still drive a narrative with your questionnaire. And that's what we wanted to make sure we did with the Amar'e Stoudemire interview.
Beautiful, bro. Listen, man, I love you already. You talking my language. We building. We're putting too much money with these other nations, Aki. We putting too much money with them. It's time to have our own, man. It's time to build. We can do these things. Go ahead, Yawasab, man.
Hey, Shalom. So when I came to Clubhouse, the first club was the 1/3 club. So, you know, I would see brothers like Halab reading. Corey was more of a leader role, moderating the conversation. And through me watching it in the audience for maybe about 2 months, you know, I was the first person in my congregation to even come on Clubhouse and watch. I'm from Rum Gadol Gabarium. That's the name of my congregation. So, you know, that's when I started making phone calls to some other brothers. You probably know my elder Panah. You know, he frequents the platform a lot and a lot of other platforms. That's my elder. So we, you know, that's when I met these brothers, Corey, met Halab. I already knew Shower Par and them from HOI. So that's when the rapport came in. Brothers began to see that they know me. And, you know, that's when debates was going on. Left and right. Corey would always set me up with something. Corey, when God First Gang started, Corey came to me and my elder Panah with teaching. He wanted us to teach. I believe it was every Thursday about a year and a half ago. So we was teaching every Thursday on the platform. And, you know, and from there, God First Gang began to get built up. We had days where we taught. We had days where we debated. You know, that's all it ever was. We had days where it was just strictly shalom and chill rooms. So it all depended on the day. And from there, we continued to build up the platform. And now we at where we are now. You know, so we just going to keep building it. Just keep building it.
Con. Man, we love the way y'all build, man. Hey, Corey, shout out to you, Ak. I love the way you moderate and walk cats down, man. Beautiful with that word, Aki. All praises. My moray is Eugene Copeland. I'm with Chasers of the Way. We're based out of Houston. We came from Ohio to LA, then from LA to Houston. I'm born and raised in the streets of LA. Born there, raised up there. The Most High brought us into the truth in 2016. We walked away from Christianity, gave up the Sunday services. our whole ministry converted. Our whole ministry converted and went and started keeping the Shabbat and started studying. The Most High gave the understanding to my moray, you know what I'm saying, to my elder, and he's been breaking it down ever since. The revelation and the understanding that he's given us and passing it to us. Then when he started, y'all start listening to y'all, I started listening to y'all. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to dig this right here. It's real talk. Let me ask you a question, man. When we say about Israel coming together, what does that look like to you, Al?
Yeah, Khan. So when I think about Israel coming together, I think about Israel coming together in compartmentally. Not necessarily where it's all one banner. I think what God First Gang kind of did was allowed a lot of the teachers and figures to kind of yield the main banner that they will rep. And I don't mean, put it to the back burner like that, but when we're on the God First Game platform, nobody really talks about their rank. Nobody really talks about how long they've been in the truth. Nobody really communicates their banner in terms of the school they're with. You may see it in their bio, etc. But it allows us to kind of Zephaniah 2 and 1 this thing, meaning just see each other for brothers and sisters. And I think the main thing that I would like to see is, even if we don't all stay in one community, we all still work together. I think even when you go into the New Testament, you see Paul, some cities he didn't even visit, but he was regulating those churches. He was a part of those churches, and he was communicating with them, but he had not touched down in that city yet. And it shows that the communication was there. And I want to get back to a place to where the communication is there, and we work as a collective to clean all this up. Of course, the overall view is to get ourselves back in the land. And I mean, in a sense of how we would deem it, in a sense of how we would deem it, Christ coming back and getting us back to the kingdom. So, but I'm saying much more immediately is to create communication to where you said it best, to where if I need some oils or need some lotions, I don't need to step too far. I can reach out to the brother Yawasap, or I can reach out to the I got a brother in my congregation. I'm gonna shout him out. His name Tesmine City. He got some of the best lotions available on the market. But what I'm saying is I can reach out to somebody and get it from them versus sending the dollars to another nation and allowing them to develop even more. So I think mainly I would say economically, financially, I think we're missing in that department. But of course, spiritually, we don't have a code of conduct. And I think it's important to know how to deal with each other. And when you have so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans that's lacking a code of conduct, then we don't know how to operate with each other, which is more so the reason why we need our history book, because it gives us the code of conduct cleanly explained between Exodus 19 and Deuteronomy chapter 34. So I think it's really important for us to really analyze our code of conduct, have a true understanding that we can all rock with, and then communicate via the code of conduct to stay on point with each other. And I think that'll grow us closer to each other. And and another thing I want to say this too.
Yes, sir. Go ahead. You got time. Go ahead.
We got to stop. We got to start having councils, and we got to start talking behind the scenes, because a lot of us want to be seen by men and women, which is why we counsel in the public first. And what I mean by that is, when you see the interview on the God First Game platform that we did with Amar'e Stoudemire, a lot of people are praising it. A lot of people are saying crazy, dope interview. But also when, he may have slid to other spaces right after that, where he was being oppressed by other nations of people, was oppressing him. People wanted us to bash our brother. No. And what I'm saying is, my focus and fame is talking about that nation who pressed my brother into a position of submission. Come on. That's where my focus is at. My focus is to not bash that brother. Now, if I feel a way in reference to that brother, then I will Matthew 18 that brother, and I will reach out to him first and foremost and say, hey, Ak, you offended me in this way. And I will talk to him privately to try to resolve the matter. And even if you see that room that was it was like a post room, after party room with Yawasab, and how Yawasab handled that conversation was so beautiful with Amar'e. And even Amar'e saying like, yeah, when I test you, you call me, you test me back, and then you call me, but I was already in a public space. But Yawasab tried to deal with the matter privately, and I think that's why I love that brother that you see right here on the screen. You know what I mean?
Sir.
Because that's what we're about. We're about exercising what we should exercise. Deal with things in-house first, but publicly let other nations know how we feel about them. So that's what I feel like unity needs to be performed properly, how the Bible tells us to do it.
Khan, I got a question for you. We're going to go to commercial real quick, Chief, and we're going to come back because I definitely want to keep on that line of thought, what you're talking about right there. All praise to the Most High. Let's drop that.
All natural hair, body, and beard products. Please check us out. If you go anywhere and say, alopecia, I got what they need. I'm telling you, like wrong hair. I have wrong hair.
They say the first cutter be the one that sets the tone.
All praise to the Most High. Man, shout out to everybody out there, to all the people listening in. Thank you for commenting, and subscribing. Listen, we here for the movement of the Most High. We here ordained by the Ruach HaKodesh. Listen, we're just talking to some good brothers right now that we've been following for a while, breaking some bread, getting some understanding. Listen, and I want to ask another question. What has worked for you in the networking and communication with God first and building with everything else? What has worked for y'all? Far as networking and communication, because our people are so divided. We're so divided amongst each other because I'm from over here, you from over there, we from over there. We won't fellowship with you because you from over there. Then I'll be like, bro, you know me, but he's like, no, we can't get down like that because I'm from over here. You don't believe the same way I believe, you know what I'm saying? Or you don't believe this. You say Yahushua, you say Yahusha, you say Yahuwah, you say Yahuwah, you say Ahia. You know what I'm saying? All this is division amongst us that's keeping us from really growing together and moving together. So what's working for you? When I know what you said regarding this, but what is working as far as the networking and communicating? Because I see y'all building, man.
Do one of the brothers want to take that? Or do y'all want me to
I could take it.
Yeah, then I'll jump in.
You can jump in, I'll jump in, and Corey, you can finish it off.
I think, it actually helps expound upon what the brother Corey was saying as far as the rapport part of it. That's what we do first. We want to build a rapport with brothers, and I think it always starts there. Just like how we try to do with the brother Amar'e Stoudemire. I think we did do with the brother Amar'e Stoudemire. We want to build a rapport. So, meeting a brother, let him know, hey, we here for you. Show love. How you doing? It don't always have to be when we talking to each other, we need something from each other, or I'm trying to, make a particular move. So to actually build a relationship with the brothers who say shalom, who say shalom.
You want to pick it up, y'all? Aki got stuck.
Yeah, I'll pick it up. So I've been in this community a long time, and in this community, of course, there's a lot of division. There's a lot of people who only want to debate. There's a lot of people who only want to say, I have the right doctrine and you have the wrong one, and I've been raised in this thing by the elders that I came up under my school, that brotherhood is the most important thing in this, right? Being a family is extremely important because, prophecies are failed. Y'all know what I'm quoting. Tongues are failed.
Yes, sir.
Charity, which is love.
Love.
You have nothing. You have nothing. So, this is one thing this is the reason why I love the God First Gang, this platform.
Yes, sir.
And I continue to push it, is because You got brothers from my congregation, Rum Gadar Gabarium. You got brothers from SOT, Sons of Thunder. You got brothers from House of Israel, HOI. You got brothers from LOI with Priest Daniela. You know, you got brothers from all over in all different congregations all across the earth. We got brothers from Europe on our platform. And we all treat each other like if I knew you my whole life. You know, just for a quick shout out to the brother Roe the Chef. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the brother. He's a rapper in the Israelite community.
Yeah, all praise, yeah.
We all met in downtown Brooklyn, right outside the Barclays Center, when the whole thing with Kyrie was going, a little bit after the thing with Kyrie was going down. And you had a variety of congregations out there, you know, and we all came together underneath the banner of God First Gang, you know, and did a music video and taught in the streets together. Afterwards, you know, congregated together and drank a little bit of wine and ate some food. So, you know, that's the thing we're pushing the most is unity within the community, right? I'm going to say that again. That's a bar. Unity in the community, all right? Halab, what you wanted to finish, brother?
Finish your point, huh?
Oh, Khan, yeah. So, you know, Salaki had some phone service issues. But yeah, I was just going into before that we try to first establish with brothers before it reaches anything else. You know, hitting brothers up, making sure that they okay, you know, in their personal lives, making sure that they're good spiritually. You know, just being a brother. We got to learn how to really be brothers again, where we can just check up on each other, see how everybody's doing, see how the fam's doing. And I think that's really a big part of what we try to incorporate here as far as networking is concerned. You know, we try to make sure we actually build that rapport with the brothers and with the sisters, you know, and it's genuine. And I think that people can actually feel that that's a spirit, you know, when you are genuine with people and you genuinely want to connect. And although you do want to use them, like we all use each other, you don't abuse them. And so I think that, you know, because we built that here at God First Gang, I think the networking is going to only expand even further because we've built rapport with a lot of brothers and a lot of sisters. So I'm definitely excited with where we're going to be going.
Yeah, Khan, all praise to that, man. Listen, I network with a lot of brothers from Yasharel, you know, especially on this side. I'm in Houston. I got ox back in LA that I deal with. I got a lot of ox in Houston that we function with, a lot of ox in Dallas. I know a lot of brews, you know what I'm saying, from all the way to Florida, to Lawrence and them in Florida. My man Ak Benaniah from Yah's Healing Ministry up in Kentucky. You know, shout out to Israel Now up in Cincinnati. You know, we get down with them. A Chosen Seed up in Detroit, Dr. Howard up with Great Awakening up there. You got the Hebrew Way down here in Houston. You know what I'm saying? Apostle Carlos and them. You got a lot of people down there. You got my man Moray Shemai and them down in Alabama. You know, different ox we fool with. My man Zug and them that's part of, you know what I'm saying, to do Truth Music down there. My man Moshe, y'all need to get with him. My man Moshe out of Kansas City, he got the Truth Music app that's blowing worldwide, you know, and these are brews that we function with, and we didn't break bread. We be on the phone for hours talking and chopping it up and networking, you know, and it's like y'all the other side to the piece, to be honest with you, you know, because we have just like, all right, man, we need to get up with them, man, because we sit here and we listen. So it's all praise to the Most High for bringing us together now. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's for such a time now to start to build and get our mindset straight and go into everything else. Come on, what's the next question, man? Y'all. My producer them backstage going nuts on me. But listen, I appreciate y'all even coming by. Y'all was but for even just chiming in. All praise to the Most High. Thank y'all for the love, and that's all we want to show. To y'all, Sherelle. I come from that side where I gang banged for over 17 years in the streets of LA. I popped up on your stage one day. You let me on, Corey. That day we was talking about that gang thing. You know what I'm saying? And I gang banged for over 17 years in the streets of LA. I know where there's no love. You know what I'm saying? And I've seen it now over here. I don't want to see that. I want to see the camaraderie, the unity. I want to see all that about us, man. You know what I'm saying? We're talking to Ak, man. We can chop it up for hours and days, man. Come to the house, have a glass of wine, pop a beer, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Let's break bread. Show me what I don't know. I'm humble enough. Break bread. Show me, man. I don't know what that is. Show me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Give me that. I'm not one sitting here. I don't care about a platform. I want the unity of the brethren. The scriptures say, I've given you some apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers. What? For the edification of the Kodashim, till we all come into the unity of the knowledge of Amashiach. That's what I want to see. That's my goal right there. That's what I'm passionate about. That's why I connect with Oxen from all over Atlanta, the Most High, give me from here, Florida, Mississippi, all the Oxen, Mississippi, Georgia. We got too many of us for us to be down like we are. Too many of us, too many resources, too many skills. We're gonna bring my other brothers to the stage. They just want to talk about a bit, man. And we glad to put faces with names with faces on. It's Ben Yah, my other big bro E. Shalom, welcome to the stage.
Shalom, brother. Shalom.
Hey, shalom,
Shalom, family. Shalom. I'm appreciative of you guys allowing me to be up on this platform with you guys. I really appreciated the way that you reached out to our brother, you know, Yehoshaphat, as everybody knows, as Amar'e, and you treated that man with love. Like you said, we're brothers first, and we gotta walk together so that way the world sees us walking in unity. So I really appreciate the interview that you did, and you know, the way y'all treated him was just love, and I appreciate that.
I mean, all praise to the Most High God for that, as well as, you know, the brother Yawasop, you know, for even, you know, having the tip on that and, you know, the information to bring that to me and you know what I mean, to really put that play together, man. That's an excellent brother right there. But, you know, even just to go a little further with Yehoshaphat with that interview, I think, like even the brother Sako was just saying in reference to you know, gang banging for 17 years. I mean, when you process it, you know, 17 years is a long time. When you turn 17, when you're in the world, you're an adult now. So, you know, you're talking about 2 decades of tearing your brother down. I think, you know, by him being from the West Coast, me being from the South, I'm from Atlanta. You got a good brother, y'all South from the Brooklyn area. But what I'm saying is we used to that. That's easy. You get trained to tear your brother down first, you know, when you raised in, you know, so-called black communities. That's extremely easy. That would have been too easy for me to, you know, get on there, or Yawasab or Mahalab to get on there and then try to tear down Amar'e Stoudemire. That's easy because we was trained to do that. We was trained our whole lives to do that. I think the tough part was to not do it. And that's what a lot of people actually have to start learning how to do, is to not tear each other down, not tear the brethren down, not tear the sisters down. Let's say if I am off on a point, get me together. You know, let's talk about it. Let's walk together on it, because in my mind, he's not far off. I don't have the vision that a lot of brothers have. I'm really different from a lot of brothers. That's why I try to represent myself when I say this. He ain't far off, because once he say he's with the God of Israel, which is the God you find in the Bible that's reigning supreme, then we actually agree. Now we actually have to talk about the specifics and the details of it. But if you locked in on him, then maybe we need to start talking about the specifics to see how much we agree on, how much we disagree on throughout the text. And if we do come across something that we disagree on, that's not enough to not deal with each other. It's not enough to bash each other. And I think that's what it is. When we come into, as Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, when we come into a disagreement, we think that's enough to tear that brother down for the next 5 years. And even when you repair that relationship in 5 years, you've repaired that relationship, but you've done 14 published videos on YouTube and Patreon. You even put it on Patreon for people to support financially to watch you tearing your brother down. You want to make money off of tearing your brother down. I think that's the mentality of it, to where it's, oh, I finally got that brother. Now I finna tear them down. We can't have that mentality. You know, it's nothing wrong with defending ourselves. So even in the interview, you know, if we felt like he would have seen it as these aren't interviewers, this is an opportunity to tear these brothers down, then, you know, of course we're going to defend ourselves, because we've been trained to debate. We've been trained to communicate in certain ways, but that isn't where we wanted to go with none of the questionnaire. We was just prepared, you know, to defend ourselves. But we understand, though. I want to say this. we understand that we could have been attacked in that interview. Why? Because everybody attack us. So we're always prepared to be attacked because everybody attack us. We just wanted to let everybody know that we're not the ones that's doing the attacking. And, you know, shortly after that, it was such an excellent interview that you had the nations come and they came attacking. And we just wanted to keep it. We all the way into this interview, until we do another interview in 6 months, we want to let everybody know we're not doing the attacking. We're not. You know what I mean? So whatever narrative y'all hear spinning around the block is from these other Jewish platforms, not from us.
And you know, I say this, Aki, and I'm gonna let Ben Yah jump in. I'm sorry, Slocky, Ben Yah. You did what a Mashiach did, bro. You did what a Mashiach did. Scripture says, man, listen, Peter denied him 3 times. The cock crow said, you're gonna deny me thrice. But what happened when he rose again? The Mashiach said, go tell my disciples and Peter. He didn't forget him. He didn't write him off because he made the mistake. A lot of people were so ready to write him off. We didn't come on here to bash him. We wanted to show love to him and let him know, listen, bro, we understand if you cave to the pressure, listen, Peter caved to the pressure. You know what I'm saying? We want to show love to you, let you know, like you said, you on that right path. Like you said, he's not far off. He don't need nobody to kick him while he's going down, and then these other nations are filling his head with all this other foolishness. And then we come right along, bash him and boot him, and then he gonna be like, dude, I might as well just go with the white folks. You know what I'm saying? I might as well go with these small cap dudes. I might as well go with the curly Qs. You know what I'm saying? I might as well go. They not, and my own people are doing it. Where's the love, Israel? Like everybody, like y'all ain't made mistakes. Like y'all ain't been in your flesh. You ain't been pressured to do nothing. A lot of y'all out there still in sin, still fornicating and lust and adultery and fornication. This man is caught in the dead line. And he's trying to make a way, and the brothers showed him love. All praise to the Most High. Go ahead, Ben Yah.
Yeah, the words say when you find a brother overtaking and falling, I'm paraphrasing, restore such a one with the spirit of meekness. And so I appreciate you all's approach. And Corey, you driving the interview because I'm like, you know, certain questions you already answered them before we get to ask them. But if this sounds like redundant, forgive me. But I kind of wanted you all to go into, because I saw everything live, and then I saw what he went through live. Can you kind of go into you all's perception? And that's not just you, Corey, but all of y'all, because I know your Howard Shop was the main one running the interview. But what was y'all perception of him going in? Because I thought it was wisdom on how you all approached the interview from jump, because people was, you know, waiting for y'all to go in on him like y'all go in on people, but y'all brought him along and he was comfortable. You know, and that's one thing that we wanted to highlight, the difference between when he was meeting with y'all and then when he met with the pigtails. So based on your perception of him coming in, what was your perception of him coming in, and then what did y'all leave away with after the fact?
I'll start. To be honest, he surprised me in the interview, brother.
I can tell.
With a lot of the things he said, you know, because honestly, most of what he said, I agree with and I teach it. Mm-hmm. You know, so my perception was definitely to be completely opposite of everything we teach. Mm-hmm. Completely opposite. And pretty much almost to lean towards his ideology. That's what I was expecting the whole interview. But going into it, hearing what he said, I didn't have any pushback. It's honestly why the interview wasn't as long as I intended it to be. Because most of what he said, we agreed with. So there wasn't as many questions as I would have spewed out as if he disagreed with us or came in a certain spirit to want to battle, even though that was never our intentions. Mm-hmm. Our intentions was never to battle the brother, never to bash the brother, never to make the brother seem bad, just to simply give him an interview. Mm-hmm. And, you know, he surprised me, and I was proud of that brother for what he said and how he stood 10 toes down during the interview. For what he believed in. Mm-hmm. After the interview, he got attacked. Not by us.
We know.
but you know, by our opposites, I like to call them. You know, and you know, they immediately had the name in the title. Immediately was bashing that. Yeah, they was bashing that brother. They was calling him all types of names. They was bearing false witness on that brother. Yes, they was even saying that brother was a BHI. Well, none of us here associate as a BHI.
No, we don't.
None of us. That's a derogatory term. No, we call ourselves Israelites or Hebrew Israelites. But adding the black in front of it, I mean, that's a racial slur. So they were even calling him that. You know, they were trying to associate him as if he's down with the camps, right? When he's not. It was just the interview. So, you know, them taking that honestly and attacking him, that's why I highlighted, just as Corey did earlier, we highlighted that these people are our enemies, man. And no matter how much you want to cape for them, no matter how much you want them to be next to you, no matter how much you say that they're the people, no matter how much you say, you know, we got to congregate with them or they have to join on to us, they're still going to hate you.
Exactly.
And as blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans of Negro and Indian descent, the 12 tribes of Israel, we have to realize that nobody loves us. Nobody. And what we do is we have to love each other.
That's it.
That's what we have to do. And until we realize that, we're going to stay in captivity. Stay in captivity, man. So that's I know I got something to say. Nah, you good, Lord. You good.
No, it's what's crazy, Yak, is we don't even see how the trillions of dollars they spend to keep us hating each other. To keep us at each other's throats, to keep us divided. You know, in the church world doesn't even see it. You know what I'm saying? When Yahweh was saying love your enemies, he wasn't talking about them. He was talking to Israelites. He said, I come for the lost sheep of the house of Israel. He wasn't talking to them, don't love. He wasn't talking to them. He was talking to us, and we are the only people we are in our own way. We hate each other so bad. We hate each other so bad. I seen it firsthand, man. I seen it firsthand. People gunned down. I seen people get knocked out for no reason just because you wasn't from over here. But looking at our same thing, I've been there in the '92 riots. I've seen the hatred amongst each other. I've seen the propaganda that was spread. I've seen people try to capitalize off the propaganda. I've seen people, you know what I'm saying? I've seen the other nations come in and utilize against us, you know what I'm saying? Organize. We're seeing that now with the Black Lives Matter movements, with the other movements that are out there that are basically funded by who? The other folk. They had nothing to do with us. Come on, anybody jump on in anytime. All right, go ahead.
Real quick, because you brought up, you know, how nobody, and I'm with you on that, like, to heck with trying to win their approval or anything that got to go with them. I only had to talk to them. My whole thing is when you talk about us galvanizing or anything like that, given the fact of what just happened with the brother, has there been any opportunity in the back channel to reach out to him to kind of get his piece or see if there's at all possible to be reconciled, or has he shut off all lines of communication because of what the little Piggly Wigglies did?
I'm still in contact with the brother. I'm not going to say much for respect of the brother, for the integrity that me and him have with each other, and you know the conversations we had in the background. But I'm still in contact with the brother.
Forgive me. Let me interject then. How is the brother doing from an emotional standpoint and mentally? How's he doing overall then?
I couldn't tell you honestly. I just only know from what he tells me. You know what I'm saying? But the brother seems good. So Lord be with that brother, man. I definitely don't want nothing to happen to that brother.
Yeah, keep that brother in your prayers. Put him in your prayers.
Yes, sir. So from you all standpoint then, given the fact that you all ran to me an excellent interview, there was no foolishness, there was no I guess, so-called anti-Semitic tropes and none of that. Doctrine was doctrine. The brother was free to share what he shared. What do you all feel like? Is there a moment where you guys feel like in the back, like, was there something you all could have did better, or kind of feel like, dang man, how could we have supported the brother this way, or what are you all's thoughts concerning that?
Can I be heard?
Yeah, yes, sir.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Sometimes I have service issues, but so I wanted to say, no, I think we did. I think we conducted an excellent interview in terms of the questions, the time frame, everything. I think the dope thing about Amar'e or Yehoshaphat, he kind of led what was to be done. He said, I have more time than this. I'm available for more. Even when we try to heavily censor questions from the audience, he chose questions out of the chat
Yes, he
that was highly controversial. He wanted to address it. It was nothing that we could control from that angle.
Agreed.
And when you're doing an interview, what you're trying to do is get somebody's honest opinion on popular questions that relate to them, whether life, career, or faith. So that's all we wanted to make sure that we touched on, as well as we understand we represent a community. So this is almost like where one community, which is of course the Hebrew community, but it's split right now because you have, people from our persuasion, and then you have brothers that's, of our nationality, but still yielding to like the Jewish side of things. So you have that aspect. So now we're at an impasse to where we're about to cross. So myself, Yawasab Mahalab, knowing that we represent a community, we wanted to make sure that we touched on topics that our community wanted to hear about. We touched on topics of clarification to see, because we know when people are on like ESPN or First Take, it's like a limited time frame that you have to speak. You may have a 4.5 minute section. You get dressed and fly into town just to sit down for 4.5 minutes, and then they go to commercial break and never come back to you. Right. So it's not an extensive amount of time for you to really be able to explain yourself properly. So we wanted to make sure via Mahalab's excellent question, giving him a lob to be able to thoroughly explain that, and he did. You know what I mean? All the way to us not stopping for a commercial break or cutting him off in the midst of his speech. I think we did an excellent job of staying out of the way and guiding on some things he really wanted to talk about. And when you pay attention to the interview, he really wanted to talk about those things that we brought up. So I don't really see any things that we could have, really improved on when it comes to like questions or reframing anything, because he really dictated how he wanted the interview to go.
So let me ask you this, because I mean, you all do a lot of frontline work. A lot of the camps, I'll be seeing Tazariak going to battle. Few brothers, y'all go to battle on a regular basis. My question then to you all then is, was there blowback on you all based on the interview? Because I went to the Piggly Wiggly room and I heard the narrative that they was putting on us. The BHI and all these hate tropes and all this. Whatever, did anything ever come back y'all way, having been the ones who conducted the interview?
Can I be heard?
Well, yeah, Mahalab, you can take
yes, sir.
that one. You got it.
Yeah, I don't think that there was much backlash on our end. I do know that, some of us want obviously us to push harder on the brother as far as our questioning. Ask more detailed questions. That was a couple, but it wasn't even brothers didn't think we did a good job still. Of course, the questioning when, brothers and sisters wanted to question Amar'e Stoudemire, it was a couple of, disgruntled individuals that didn't get a chance to ask him, but you know how that goes. It wasn't that big of a deal. So I don't think overall we much backlash. I do think that, like the brother Corey said, we did an excellent job as far as framing the questions. I just wanted, my mind, we had a council on how we're going to frame the interview and this whole demeanor. So I'm glad I actually had that council. I'm glad that we actually came style of questioning. I think it got clarity on which is the issue, right? Does he see being an Israelite from our lens or from their lens? I think that was really what I wanted, and we all wanted to see, or at least me personally. I'll speak for myself. I think with the questions that we designed, I wanted to see where was his thought process. Obviously, I know he didn't agree with 100% of, what we agreed on or teach or, understand. But I want to see just his perspective, and I think we did an excellent job at pointing that out. And I told the brother Corey, it was crazy. Like right before the interview, maybe hours before, that if this go the way I see it going, the headlines are going to be, Amar'e Stoudemire agrees with Black Hebrew Israelites, and lo and behold, that's exactly what it was. So, all praises to the Most High. I said I'm having some connection issues. Can I still be heard?
Yeah, we can still hear you.
You good, huh?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah. So all praises to the Most High. I thought it worked out beautifully through the Spirit. He definitely said some key things that we were looking for as far as who he thought the Israelites were, belief in the Messiah. I loved his answer on anti-Semitism. How he went into the etymology of the word. He said a few powerful things in that interview. So, I was definitely pleased with it overall. I think it was an interview that did shake up the world. If you just listen to it from opening to end, I think that might have been one of the best interviews, I've seen in a while. I don't mean to toot our own horns, but from the opening introduction,
it's all good.
We made that brother feel welcome.
Dang, we're losing them.
All the questions, we were just agreeing, and it was just a positive thing. So I think it was a really excellent interview. I'm definitely going to be praying for the brother, and I hope that he continues to, conduct himself how he has been in the community, because he's been an upstanding guy. He's been an upstanding brother. I don't see any scandals or anything when he was in the NBA. So I want him to continue to conduct himself as he has, and that's a beautiful thing. And then continue to grow in the knowledge of the truth.
Yeah, I thought the good thing. Go ahead, Sue. I'm sorry.
No, I said go ahead, jump in, huh? You got it.
I thought the good thing was I agree with you. You guys ran an excellent interview. I didn't see anything from your standpoint, but I know y'all had that relationship with the brother. Y'all care about the brother, and obviously your relationship with him that you guys developed is going to be synonymous with his current situation. With that being said, like when you talk about, because a lot of the Brews wanted to see you guys go at him aggressively, but yet at the same time, I thought it was a good opening relationship builder type of an interview. And I was looking forward to that Talmudic thing. Corey talked about the narrative earlier and us controlling our own narrative. Do you all think that this may have been purposely done to not expose that narrative? When you talk about him having a discussion with those Talmudic practices that he's leaning towards, as opposed to you all getting in there dealing with him from the script?
I think on understand the question. I'm trying to see what.
Want me to rephrase it?
Yeah, rephrase it if you can.
This is just me, and it could be the inner conspiracy theory. I just thought it was intentionally done because you guys got him to bring up the Talmud. And I know when you all stand on the Talmud, we agree with the scriptures don't need any help. But at the same time, that was not like that was going to be the next meeting, because he was willing to meet until the pigtails got to him. My question is, do you all think that was purposely done to stop that discussion from happening and exposing the flaws in the Talmud?
My opinion, I would say no. The only reason why I would say no is because I think the other questions, well, I wouldn't say questions, but the other answers that the brother gave was something that I think that bothered him a lot more than the conversation about the Talmud, because he kind of stood on the Talmud. He didn't speak against it. He didn't say that the Talmud is a bad thing. So so that means that if we were to have another discussion, his position would probably be opposite of ours. So that's, to me, that would be something that they would root for him to have another discussion in reference to the Talmud, so he can then support what they actually hold to in terms of their oral tradition. So I would think that that's something that they may sort of root for. But I think some of the other answers they was definitely displeased with, and rightfully so, because he just spoke the truth. And I think that was the dope thing about this interview. He was able to freely speak with his brothers and speak the truth. And then the oppressors came in quickly. They came in quickly to try to suppress some of the things he had already said. But he didn't speak against the Talmud. So I don't think that would be a good point to say that's what they was trying to stop. I think they was trying to combat what he had already said, maybe about the New Testament, maybe about Christ, maybe about when he chose the question out of the chat and kind of went into the synagogue of Satan type of idea. When he went into those things, I think that may have bothered him.
Slock, yeah, we're gonna take a quick break real quick, and we're gonna be right back. We got a couple of more before we let y'all out of here. Listen, once again, man, this is the God First Gang. You can catch them on Clubhouse, man, with all that smoke, all the heat, taking it from everybody out there and giving it back to everybody in full force. We appreciate for the brothers coming on tonight. We're gonna slide into this commercial real quick. Let's do it.
So today we're gonna do a little unboxing. But before that, I need a little dance.
Know what they doing? Hey, I had some beef with the devil, so it's only right that I hop in the stool. And to my ops, I forgive them. They must not know what they doing.
Okay, now let's get into it. I already cut this open, by the way. Y'all ready? This is beautiful. It's a journal. So if you're new here, I love writing letters to God, and I needed a bigger journal because I'm about to run out of space in my little journal. This is their 8x10, okay? And let me just say this. When I saw sis on the front, and then I saw her in the mirror with her armor of God on, I said, baby, that's me. Baby, I need that. And I got it. This is beautiful. This is the inside. Oh my goodness. I'm so excited. I can't wait to write in here. This is the back. The quality is very good. Very good. Okay. On the side, it says Ephesians 6:10-19. Armor of God. Okay. TMH collection. I absolutely love this. I love this. This was $12.99. I did not pay for shipping because I got Prime free right now for 30 days. Okay. And she has different sizes. I needed the 8x10 because I need more room to write my letters to God and journal and do all the good things. I cannot wait to use this. Please support this business. Please look at this. This is beautiful. $12.99. That's not a lot. Go support them, y'all.
All praise to the Most High. Listen, we try to advertise our people's products as much as we can. Definitely, man. If y'all got something out there, please let us know. We'll definitely slide it in for you. You know what I'm saying? We want to see all the brothers' products reach a certain platform, and our own people see that we have talents, we have skills in our communities, man. You don't have to go everywhere and spend your money. Bring it here. We tired of our money going out and it's only staying in our community for 6 hours. We need to stay in it for months, days, decades. It's time to build our own resources. But listen, go ahead. I can ask that question.
Eric said he has some questions.
Go ahead.
But do y'all have time? I mean, I don't know what y'all looking like.
If you got time, for a couple of more.
Okay. Yeah, we good, man. Do your thing. We good.
All right. The question I wanted to, ask is, like it was stated earlier, you guys came with love to our brother, and like you said, you reached out to him and he can only go by what he says. In the future, are there other people that you are actually looking to, do some interviews with, collab with, that have already come out and said they know who we are, that have some stature? We have a lot of people. We had a lot of people that, know those things, but we want to know if you guys are working on something like that also.
Yeah, we work on a lot of things behind the scenes. We actually should probably within the next week or two, especially because, I know a lot of brothers is keeping Passover. Either they already kept it or they're keeping it soon. However, brothers calculate their calendars. you know, we definitely have another interview coming up very soon, and a lot of things working in the background, from music to once again interviews, to creating a debate platform, to having lectures, to things to help the community. So we got a lot of things working in the background, but definitely with interviews, absolutely, we have one coming within a week or two, Lord willing. Lord willing.
All praises, all praises. I tell you this though, like, you know, my brothers were saying, and like y'all was saying, you know, when I was listening to the interview live, I thought y'all was throwing them softball questions. So I was in the back chat with my brother, you know, Ben Yah, and my sister, you know, Dr. Smith. You know, I was kind of going in. I was heated because I was like, man, they throwing them softball questions. But, you know, like you said, as you go along, you were building a rapport. I understand that you guys were building a rapport and you didn't want it to be combative. So I praise you on that. If y'all want to hear the difference between a real interview that you guys did and that Bash attack, because it was a straight attack, they went and basically went at him. Our producer put a bunch of clips together on how they went at him hard. And you can check that on Hebraic Faith. Hey, those are some pretty good clips. You let his work speak for himself. But another thing I want to know is, if we do another reaction, will y'all come back with us?
I don't see a problem with that. I don't see a problem with that. All you gotta do is just, hey, let us know when you're doing it. If it doesn't conflict with our schedules, we'll figure something out where everybody could do it together, and we could get it popping. Absolutely.
All praises, all praises. That's all I needed.
Man, let me ask you, man, who you rocking in that? Who you rocking on the music tip right now, man?
Well, I rap. Say it again.
I said, come on, go.
Yeah, the brother Corey, he also raps and, you know, kind of produces things. Halab, he's a great drummer, and that's just us three in terms of the people who we network with in the community. We got a lot of people who rap. If you actually look up Panah Israel, that's PANAH space IZRIO, Panah Israel. He's one of the elders in my congregation, and he has music on YouTube. He has music on Apple Music. You know what I'm saying? So that's just two quick shout outs, man.
Praises.
Check
Yeah,
it out.
definitely. Go ahead, Ben Yah.
So I only got like a couple more questions left if you got time, my brother.
I got you, brother.
Just want to know where do you, because I know that I think you all have said that based on this, that we're at a crossroads. Where do you feel like this is going, or, you know, what is the next step with this thing moving forward, like, so we can build from here? Like, what do you feel like this is going?
Well, I know other brothers is definitely gonna want to add into this, but I just see the gospel and the truth continuously to be spread. And every single thing I do, whether it's the interview, whether it's a rap song, whether it's a debate, is to always win a soul that's not in the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Make them come back to who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. Make them unplug their minds from the matrix. Come learn these laws, statutes, and commandments, you know, and repent. That's always my mission, no matter what we do. Mm-hmm. So I think this right here, just as, you know, the Kyrie thing did, or just as the Kanye West did, is just another tool to spread the gospel, you know, and to spread the truth to our people.
Man, is there anything we can do to help support the work y'all doing, man? Corey, Mahab, Saad, anything we can do to help support the work, man?
Stay in contact. I know Corey will say the same thing. Stay in contact with us to work out things behind the scenes and continue to do this, man. We, like I said, we all about unity in our community, man. So,
I do got one last question.
All right.
We just relocated to the Houston area, and we've identified some area that we want to get busy in as far as reaching out to our peoples out and trying to get the waking Israel in this area. What suggestions do you have for like a a new group of people as far as ourselves and approaching, hitting the streets? What suggestions would you have as far as that goes?
Well, being a man of experience is being like unto all men. So you can't be robotic in this thing.
Facts.
Right.
You can't. He asked this question, so I always have to answer it this way. And you can't think like that. You have to mold yourself according to the person that you're speaking to. So if you're speaking to somebody that you could tell, this guy, hey, just as the brother Sakar said, excuse me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong, I also come from that certain lifestyle in the streets. So I can identify that within my people. So I will know how to approach him. But then there might be somebody who didn't grow up like that. He's still one of our people, but he grew up in the church. What we like to call in the streets a goody two shoe. Well, you got to learn. You got to learn how to talk to that person as well. Yeah. Even though you might not have lived that life, you got to learn how to mold yourself to be like unto all men. And I'm pretty sure other brothers have some advice for you as well.
Just to add to that as well, I would say order. Establishing order. I think order is extremely important. Not just within a camp structure or a school or church, whatever you have, a congregation, but when you hit the streets, what is the role of everyone and what is everyone doing? Because you're not in a safe haven to where you can go in and lock some doors. You're open on all sides. So just making sure that there's an order there to make sure, because what you're bringing out is what the world hates. And we're talking about our people and other nations. So with understanding that people will verbally, emotionally, and sometimes physically attack you. Sometimes the physical attacking, most of the time, 8 times out of 10 is much more in the space of intimidation. They just trying to intimidate you to shut up. That everybody just wants you to shut up. So they go to whatever extremes that they will go to try to get you to shut up. And you got to be able to gird up your loins, not stay on point, be circumspect, not deal with people's emotions, and be able to communicate with your people. Now, Yawasab said to me the highest level of wisdom, because you got to be able to know who you're communicating quick. I grew up in sales, not just when I was in the street, selling dope at a young age. But, my first real job was 19 years old, knocking doors. I was knocking doors trying to sell products. So I grew up in sales. So I was able to identify quick who I'm speaking to when they answer the door. I got to identify the spirit and the character quick. So you don't have a lot of time. When people are out there on the streets, they didn't come for you. And that's something that you're going to have to realize and resonate in your spirit. They didn't come for you, but they need to hear you before they go home. And that's going to be something important to understand. You got to be low, you got to be meek. But when they out there, they have a mission. They didn't just come to just stand there. But you got to be alarming. You got to be persuasive to communicate with that person to come over. I think Jude, the only chapter, speaks to this around verse 20 and 21, where it says some having compassion. And then others you got to pull out of the fire, even hating their garments spotted, with any type of lustful or wicked type of idea. So some people you got to be a little bit more assertive with, and some people you got to be a little bit more calm with. So you got to be able to dictate who that is quick. I always teach, it's only like 7 different people in the world. So you got to kind of identify the spirit quick, what you're dealing with, to be able to entice them to stop within the first 5 seconds of you speaking to them, and to be able to hear it out at least 2 minutes or more. You know what I mean? You need a verse, you need a flyer, you know what I mean, to get out to them. But I think that, you're going out there doing a mighty work, whether, this is your first time or not, or whether overall as a collective, it'll be you guys' first time. I think that'll be beautiful. And Houston need it. I grew up in Atlanta, so we always looked at like Charlotte and Houston is like little Atlanta's like to us. They in their own world. I used to travel state to state. I still do really. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida right now. But I got my CDL, so I used to transport vehicles state to state. So I used to always come to Houston, always come to Dallas. So I'm familiar with those parts. So, Houston is a thriving city. And I think that you guys have fit right in being able to try to bring out people in this thing. And they know about it out there. So it shouldn't be too tough to communicate with them.
Bro.
Is there anything, I think my brother kind of answered this, and I'm just gonna leave y'all with this. Is there anything that we could do to help push what it is that you as God First Gang is trying to do? You got pages or anything that you all want to ascribe, mention those things, any things that you guys got in the work, personal businesses, etc. If you want to put them out, put them out. Is there anything that we can do to help support God First Gang?
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. So firstly, what the brother got on the screen, I can see it on mine. I'm not sure if everybody can see it, but
Yeah, everybody can
come
see that.
to the God First Gang, yeah, on Clubhouse, man, because that we do about anywhere between 2 and 10 rooms a week. We got brothers opening up different rooms, different times, different lessons. So come there and then just come there to chop it up, and we can continue to network there, hit each other up in the back chat. It's a major network. Also, so first and foremost, come to the God First Game platform on Clubhouse. So that way we can get in touch, stay in touch consistently. Because we're not always like on a YouTube platform. Clubhouse is really kind of easy to kind of click. It's an audio app. You just take the stage and you speak to people on the way on your way to work. Hit me up on IG on God First Gang on IG. One word, of course, God First Gang. For any merch, we have T-shirts and hoodies, 7 to 8 different colors, 5 different sizes from small to 2X. To snatch up the merch. We also are trying to expand our store. So we have right now we have 2 physical stores opening up in Jacksonville, Florida, where we are employing our people. So if you are in the area, put in an application with us, reach out to us, hit the brother Sue up. You can hit Yawasop up, and of course Ma Halab, being the managers at the store, and reach out to us. If you're in need of work or know some people that it is in need of work, that is trying to prep to take over. We are not just trying to, with the physical stores, we're not trying to blend in. We're trying to stand out. We want people to be able to drive by and see, what it looks like and recognize what that is. And it's just the beginning wave of that. So, we are hiring at the locations. We just got in Jacksonville, Florida. We about to travel back to Atlanta, but we trying to literally have physical stores in every city and state in the lower 48 states in America. So that is our aim. We at the beginning of that. So we are hiring our people. Hit us up on that. If you stay in a different city, let's say if that city is not a promising city where it has work, or you may want to start over somewhere, come to Atlanta, come to Florida, etc. Reach out to us. Mahalal will tell you what we not only have physical stores, but we also have lodging. So if you need work and you need to lodge, and I'm saying lodging from a space of for free, to make and you're receiving a check. This is how we look out for our people. So hit us up
Praise.
at First Gang on IG. But firstly, before you do any of that, come subscribe to the God First Gang platform on Clubhouse. Stay locked in with us, because this is not the only thing we doing. What we're trying to do is be consistent. So we're trying to be consistent on these apps, and then when we close the apps, we still consistent with the Lord's work, whether that's going out to teach on the street, but it can't just stop there. I'm one that doesn't feel like that's enough. If you teach 2 to 4 hours or one day a week, That's not enough. What are you doing the other 5 days, the other 6 days? What are you doing? So you should be actively learning, studying the text, applying it to your life, teaching your family. But even on top of that, you should stand out and try to create other avenues for your people. So that's what we're trying to do in every space.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you. Mahalal, y'all, what's up? Y'all got something to say before we jet up out of here, man? Listen, man, I want to thank y'all, man. The door is open anytime y'all need us, man. Anytime we want to put this together, you want to bring something, man, we definitely here to support, man. And we're going to definitely be telling people to get with y'all for the housing and for the work and everything that want to come down there for a lot of brothers, man. All praise. Y'all brothers got something to say before we exit?
Yeah, I'll say something and I'll let Halab close it out. Man, just like Corey said, come to Clubhouse, man. We got a lot of beautiful things going on in there. I know Corey could correct me if I'm wrong, but the God First Gang YouTube is coming out real soon as well. Also, look out for the entire interview very soon. Within the next couple days, the entire interview for Amar'e Stoudemire to be posted on YouTube. That's coming very, very soon. So
that's big.
Appreciate you, brothers, inviting us to this platform. When we need us again, we always here, man. So, hey, man, like I said, the whole interview, unity in our community.
I love it.
Thanks, y'all, brothers. Man.
Come on, Mahalal.
I think Mahalal might still be having connection issues.
You have a little technical issue.
Yeah,
it's going in and out a lot.
Yeah, he having it bad.
But if I can be heard, definitely wanted to say on that last.
You breaking up? Hey, Mahalal service like
advice
is y'all.
My man on that dial-up.
He's on cricket.
Man, all praise to the Most High. Listen, thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Listen, always a pleasure with my brothers, man. Always love chopping the word. Always talking about what we're trying to do in our community. Like my ox say, Yahweh say, listen, unity in our community, brother, we need it. The brothers need to come together. The sisters need to come together. We need to build. We need to establish our own. We need to have our own systems of networking, socializing, everything. So we got to go back to what the scriptures say do. Not what people say do, but what the scriptures say do. All praises be to the Most High. We thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Please, before you go, like, comment, share, subscribe. Go to God First Gang on IG. Listen, download that Clubhouse app. Go in there, join the gang. Listen, join it right there, God First Gang. Join the club and get it going. You want the merch? You know where to go. We thank y'all for tuning in. Shalom to everyone out there. This is your man, Sukkah Ben Maccabees. I love y'all. Shout out to everybody that is down with us. All praise be to the Most High. We out.
Shalom.
You are Jehovah Jireh, my provider. Jehovah Nissi.